Okay, welcome back. This is Grandpa Bill with another edition of Grandpa Bill's Grunts and Groans podcast. And at the time of this taping, just for your reference, whenever you come into these, it's actually Saturday, May 18th, and it's now approximately just shy of 5 o'clock, or I don't know, 9 minutes of Eastern Standard Time. So this is kind of after, earlier today I did my Blog Talk radio show taping. And for those of you that are starting to follow the shows and the blogs and what have you, first of all, thank you. Second of all, the regular people that have always, to some degree, done so, thank you for being that loyal for oh so many years. I've had a few of you. I'm not exclusively playing to the crickets, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the word of mouth advertising and passing on of both the show and the podcast show and my radio show. And a couple of you have done that. And I thank you for that. That helps so much in all these subjects that I talk about, the trials and tribulations of small business people and overhead and cost of shipping and all of that. And that leads me into this main cross-promotion program that I talk a lot about, to include Teresa Gaffney, my fellow proprietor up at Highland Organics up at the Blueberry Farm up in Mid-Coast, not Mid-Coast, but Mid-Central Maine, providing me with blueberry powder both as a client for my smoothies and in my diet, but I also use her blueberry powder as an ingredient in my boo-boo butter recipe and my dog butters and aromatherapies and so forth. And I have imbibed in her cheese. Speaking of money, her and I have actually had this conversation, not of recent note. I really would like to start drinking more of her teas, and I will. And sometime I need to talk with Teresa on whatever her philosophies are or aren't about CBD and non-CBD products, again, offering both. Teas are a great thing to infuse with CBD. It's an option. I've talked a lot about that as I do my water fasts with the tourmaline water that I've talked about in my blogs and archival shows. So what I want to continue to talk about is I basically, at the taping of this show, already have my one-page refined website that I've been talking about of recent note. It's not really out to the public yet. I've got to do transfers of domain names and all of that crazy stuff. And make sure that my other three websites do come down. So I'm going to keep everybody advised of all of the above through the podcast here and at my Blog Talk radio shows. And those will be the venues moving forward that I'll be promoting the business as a whole. And then I will work with my CTFO dedicated website because I'm part of that business for all those reasons I've talked about, most of which you see over my shoulder and I've talked about in product videos. As this stock dissipates that you see behind me, I will not have any more inventory on hand. That was one of the things I've talked about over the last year and a half, changing the business during 2018 and getting into 2019 and doing all these different things, working in semi-retirement and streamlining. So here we are, pretty much for all intents and purposes, knocking on the door of June, the halfway mark of 2019. So that's how I'll be progressing moving forward. And again, by being an independent associate with CTFO products, they carry all the inventory, they do all the shipping, they do all the packaging, they do all the customer service, all the interfacing. If there is an issue, if there needs to be a return, if people need to change their method of payment, if they need to do a new credit card, if whatever customer service issue may be entailed, they handle all of it. And I can't tell you what kind of a godsend that is to myself, especially at this age. All by choice. I've been a sole proprietor and I've done all of those things. And in quite honesty, the cost is catching up with me. And, I'm not ready to have to go to the hospital in the emergency ward or anything crazy like that. I'm in really, really good shape. I want to keep it that way. But my body's telling me that I need to slow down and I need to not try to take on all of these hats, literally and figuratively, the one I wear often. And you guys all know, by the way, just to, I have no phobias about being bald. I've been bald since, I mean, there it is. I wore a hat when I had full lock of hair. I just like wearing hats. So for whatever that's worth, I have no phobia whatsoever. There it is, the shining beacon. I've just always been a hat person, even when I had hair. So for whatever, complete transparency, in other words. So in any event, continuing. We also have a CBD product that actually grows hair back. You can investigate that. It's made with anagain. And maybe sometime for fun, I'll use that product. I've used 10 of the others. And seriously, we can sprout it on my bald head and see if anything comes up from the aspect of, let's see if it did work. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. But it wouldn't be for my case. And listen, before you people all go crazy. It can be important to fill in hair. Many ladies have the problem of receding hairlines and whatever. So just be calm and collected on that. That's what the product's designed for. And that's why I wear a partial plate and all that, right? You guys know that. You know the story. I've had teeth yanked out and all that. I mean, it is what it is. We get old. We break down. That's all geriatric stuff. Okay? So that's all good. I'm all comfortable with that. So, as you see, I got my tourmaline water shirt on. That's obviously a product that I'm a huge advocate for. Seriously, if you do the history at this point, I think somewhere even Seth might be chuckling. I've asked him to come through these. I think I've passed that test no matter whatever happens and I go to my grave, and I'm sure Seth is chuckling, that I am an advocate of the product, regardless of whatever else. It's pretty apparent on that. And I even did a third-party analysis test of my own and all that kind of stuff because I believe in it so passionately. So we are by that part of it. So we're good. Seth and I are going to work together. It's scheduling that all of you people certainly can relate to. It's crazy. And I accept this crazy world. I don't accept a lot of what goes on in it. Okay? That's old man stuff too. I'll work on that. I'll get by it and all of that. But I don't accept it. I don't. I just don't. And I'm pretty cagey, codgy, and all that stuff. But there's no false airs. Whatever I am, there's no false airs. There's no pretend. I mean, there's just no pretend with myself. So that's who I am. And that's who I'm going to be. So I'm going to market the CBD products. There's no checkout system on my one-page site. So we're all good. The citizenry of the planet's good with that. The manufacturers of the planet are good with that. Those wonderful providers that provide those services are good with that. And it's full respect of understanding the whys, the wherefores, what's contained in service agreements, and all of that. However, the business model can continue just like it is with all of the 250,000 other people that temporarily got policed and got slapped on the wrist a little tiny bit because of the nature of the subject matter. It's a learning process for everybody for all those reasons. Mostly being 70 years of being malaligned, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's out of the can, if you will. So it goes through all kinds of eyes of the beholder, all different age brackets, understandings, misunderstandings, practitioners, especially Eastern medicine versus Western medicine. Those aren't threats. Those aren't anything. Those are just realities. I mean, come on, people. Those are just the reality of it. This is why the lines of distinction, the differentiation, and all of that. So through all of that, I want to reiterate that CTFO has a very fine array of non-CBD products within its product entourage as well. So a potential client could join and certainly enjoy the health benefits of those, and you don't have to have them with CBD. That's an option. So I just stated both products are available from both sources. All of my products prior to CBD obviously are still available in those original formats. I've talked about changing those, how they've changed. Now that's how I'm doing business in semi-retirement, but they are all available. They're available exclusively moving forward under private label and or custom label if they come from myself. I have several programs with the supplying manufacturers that I've talked about, and there's back blogs and so forth for your information to reference those. You can order direct with these manufacturers. Graciously so. They're in tune with it. I'm in tune with it. There's a reason for you to do it if you choose to do so. There's a reward for you to do it if you choose to do so. So you have to maybe avail yourself the information that's out there. And I talk a lot about my customer rewards and incentive programs and my 4 distinct auto ships and so forth. I have a client base that's enjoyed those for years. I really, in all honesty, have a larger portion of an established client base that have never utilized them. But that's something that I would never force down someone's throat, and at the same time, that's not my job to continually babysit people. I mean, it's like any company, any website, any option, or what have you. It's right there in black and white, should you care to exercise it. If you don't, then you're actually really choosing to leave additional monies on the table. So that leads me to the part that gets semi-tough and all of that, but it doesn't have to be tough. It doesn't, if we all just take a deep, calming breath and listen. My crazy analogies, I'm going back to Sears catalog days when everybody had to order by check or money order because there was, it goes back a ways, of course. Okay, well, check or money order is still available in most checkout systems to coincide with the credit cards. And depending on your checkout system that you go through at the said company and or the one that you provide, the array of credit cards is for whatever you want to pay for, as you all well know. You can accept Diners Club. You can get as diversified as you want in the package or program that you pay for, and or the company that you're going to's website that they pay for. Okay. Right now, the CBD thing, for all those reasons of the service agreement affiliated, Google Pay, PayPal, Amazon, what have you, all fine. Listen to what I'm saying, please. All fine, outstanding programs, outstanding companies. Their service agreement and what have you, they're not ready yet to avail their services yet. Their prerogative, running their companies, to that industry. Notice how I keep saying yet, because it's just a matter of time. It just is. It just is. And that all has to play out. You have to look at the other companies to flip that over that are jumping on full bore, that are doing that in their checkout systems and their pay systems and what have you. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, whatever their cards are. You understand, I don't use them as a patron, but whatever their CVS value points or whatever, well, I'm sure it's going to be applicable to CBD. I don't know that. I don't run those companies. But I'm sure they will make those bonus programs or whatever available to what they're stocking on their shelves, would be my assumption, and we know what that stands for sometimes. So, how I do business, all those CBD products are available. All those CBD products should be and are accepted to be available if you use them and advertise them under the parameters that I'm advertising them under. So to pay for them, you have to get a hold of me. I have to generate an invoice for you, which is nothing. It's the same way as I did when it was a PayPal invoice. I generated the invoice, I was just using their service. Well, now I'm going to generate an invoice for you, use an alternative service, On the immediacy, it has to be by money order. You have to play with me a little bit while I work on these things as a sole proprietor and what have you. In all honesty, still the turnaround of the products, especially if they're custom made, they will take the normal turnaround time of any custom made products, a week to 7 days. Or excuse me, 10 days, business days. That's still good turnaround. So in most cases, it's expedited before that and all of that. So money order under that premise. Right now, that's only unique to my aromatherapies with CBD that you would have to do that at all. You would have to order my kelp products that way right now. Those are all legit and what have you. I have a checkout system that I'm working on. It's going to take me a little bit. So just contact me on the immediacy. All products are available, ready to order, and we can handle the methods of payments. Contact me. Tell me what it is you want. If you want to partake in the specials, you get an itemized invoice like you always did, showing the specials, the percentage of discount, etc., etc. I email you back. I tell you how you can use a credit card when I get to that point. And in the interim, you have to pay it with a money order. It's that cut, it's that dry. There's nothing I can do about it. It's the way I have to do my business. So bear with me. Bear with me. Nothing's forever. I'm constantly, it's one of my monikers, and it's how I survived for years. One of my monikers amongst the many is Creative Solutions for Holistic Healthcare Products Distribution. And I've been very creative for a number of reasons, most of what I just stated. I have a program called the B8 Sales 5025 program that I made. Nobody in the industry does it. It's unique to myself. Read about it, find out about it, exercise the option. You can exercise the option to order direct to the manufacturers and use those programs. So we're very flexible. Seth is going to become very flexible. He already is. I mean that he's going to become flexible when we work together, being selective on choice of words nowadays. Okay, that's it on this one. You have to plug these in wherever you can. Again, I've talked about that. Depending on when you come into these, that's why I always reference the date that I record them. You may come into this one before you ever heard the show before you saw the blog, the old websites, all of those scenarios that are obviously going to exist. So moving forward, that's going to change as well. It's each day will be episodical. Each day I will do a Blog Talk Radio show. Each day I will do a Grandpa Bill's Grunts and Groans podcast. I will write the one-page blog that'll be on the one-page website. I'll be able to do so with more degree of frequency. So I'm almost there. It's so much easier to administrate. And for all the reasons on the CTFO, I don't have to worry about that. Any of those fine 70 products and the other 10 that'll be rolling out over the next 90 days, I'm still doing kits, mix and match via my business here, interjecting the CTFO products. I'm a client, will be. I love their products. They're helping me in my treatment of arthritis and of my brain things and my central disorder. I love the products. I've talked about 10 of them. I love the vapes. I love the CBD drops. I have it infused in my aromatherapy. I'm marketing it that way. I have the pet drops as we speak, available per order. Again, it's all generated by order. I don't carry an inventory, and I will not carry an inventory. And soon it will be 10x Pure based on request to do so. I'm going to explore putting the CBD drink drops based on request to do so as far as aromatherapy. I'm not going to do any of this just to do it and have inventory. I can't do that anymore. However, we can get you hooked up with some amazing products. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the CTFO. I'll show you the mini catalog and another product video. I'm going to hold it up here. I'm going to really be marketing that heavily. I'll be talking about Seth's products right now, the CBD water, drink elixir, drink drops. He's already working on expanding the breadth of his products. I'll be more in tune to what those are. We'll be doing some co-marketing events on a regional, local level here over the summer as it materializes. He'll be on my radio show. We'll be talking about one of his other companies, Living Nuts, that I've talked about before, Sprouted Goods. It plays into Many of the programs that I've been promoting for years, one of which is Adah's Animal Products and Adah's Nutritious Lunchbox program, which the tourmaline half-liter water bottles would be ideal for. Seth and I have kind of talked about that. His sprouted products would be ideal for lunchbox items. Those are all things that definitely would have to materialize over the summer and would be, at best, in the next school year to even have legs to start to talk about those. But those are all already on our proverbial drawing board. And to some degree, he and I have already talked about that in those things. So, gonna cut out. I'll see you in the next one. And always remember, BH Sales, Kennel Kelp, Grandpa Bill, Adah's Animal Products. We're all alive and well. We're doing business differently. We're thriving to survive. CTFO, all my manufacturers, we all do the same thing. We promote good health in all animals and their humans, plants, and we're fighting to preserve the planet with clean food and the cleanest water. Smile. It releases endorphins. I'll see you somewhere the next time. Bye-bye.